welcome back. Playing some Aurelia the War Leader today. Today's build is going to be just a little bit different. What I'm trying to do today, there's been a lot of cards printed over the last year or so that are very interesting with Aurelia, and I haven't really had a chance to check a lot of them out. So what I'm doing with this particular build is I've stripped out a lot of the old classics and replaced it with a lot of the new cards, just so that we can get a feel for how the new cards actually perform, and if I want to incorporate them into my quote-unquote normal build of Aurelia. Let's take a quick look at some of the new additions to the deck. We have Bloodforged Battle Axe. I've seen this in action a little bit, and from what I can tell, it looks awesome. In Balin, it's really powerful, and I think in Aurelia, it's also going to be really powerful. We have Conqueror's Flail, which came out last year on paper, but was just recently printed on Magic Online, so I'm excited to try this out. The big thing here is that opponents can't cast spells during our turn, as long as a creature is equipped. So that'll be nice. That'll stop things like counter spells and Swords to Plowshares, that sort of stuff. Next up, we have Dowsing Dagger. This will basically just act as more mana ramp. I'm not sure that we need this, but I wanted to try it out, so I threw it in here anyway. It's a pretty cool card. I think these flip cards out of Ixalan are really cool, so I wanted to try some of them out. Next up, we have Teferi's Protection. I cannot say enough about this card. This card is stupidly powerful. If you need to protect your permanents, if you need to not die to a lethal attack, or if someone's hitting you with something like an Emrakul trigger or Mind Twist or something really terrible, Teferi's Protection is the answer for all of those. And this card is just crazy good, and even better since we're going to be running Sunforger today, so we'll have Teferi's Protection in our back pocket as long as we have Sunforger in play. Another new card, Captain Lannery's Storm. 2/2 with haste. Whenever it attacks, create a treasure token. This will give us additional mana ramp, in addition to being a creature. I'm excited to see how this performs. Next up, we have Combat Celebrant. Should be very good. The Exert mechanic is very good with Aurelia. Haven't actually played a lot of Combat Celebrant yet. You need to build the deck in a certain way to really take full advantage of using Combat Celebrant, but I think it should be pretty good for us. Magus of the Wheel has been out for a little while, but it's something that I've just recently started adopting into all my red decks, so we're going to be using that for additional card draw today. Next up, we have Balin Wandering Knight. Balin should be really powerful. The ability to cheat mana cost on your equipment is really strong, and if we can get Sunforger down, we should just be able to absolutely go to town using our Sunforger abilities. I'm very excited to get Sunforger going with Balin and see where that takes us. Next up, we have Treasonous Ogre. This was printed in one of the Conspiracy products, but just recently came to Magic Online. I've been interested to try this card out for a while, and you can pay 3 life to add a red mana to your mana pool, which is a fairly steep cost, but still, when you need a mana boost, it's available to you at a cost of life. So I'm interested to see if this is going to play out well for us. And beside that, it does have Dethrone, which is a pretty good mechanic with Aurelia, because any mechanic that involves attacking is going to be pretty good with Aurelia. So I'm interested to see what this one's going to do for us. I'm not sure if the life is worth the mana. If we were heavily focused on life gain, it would be an easy inclusion, but I'm interested to see how it plays when we're not a heavy life gain deck. Next up, we have Hammer of Nazan. I've gotten this out a few times with a few different commanders, and it's been really powerful so far. Indestructible is huge, especially with Aurelia, because she costs so much to recast. If you can keep her from getting killed, you're probably going to win the game, and cheating equipment costs is just awesome. Another new card, we have Bishop of Rebirth. Whenever Bishop of Rebirth attacks, you may return target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So I'm pretty excited about this card. This is another card that takes a specific build of Aurelia. Not all my Aurelia builds have a lot of creatures at 3 converted mana cost and below. This particular build has a decent number, and the things that we do have in those slots are very powerful. For example, Captain Lannery gives us mana. We have Combat Celebrant, gives us extra combat steps, Pure Steel Paladin, Stoneforge Mystic, Silverblade Paladin, and Burnished Heart. All very good options to bring back from the graveyard basically for free. It's almost like a mini Sun Titan. We also have a Glorybringer in here. I've been including this in my Aurelia decks of late, but the problem is I've never actually been able to get it into play. So hopefully Glorybringer will see some action, but I have to imagine that its Exert ability is very good. Also running Neheb the Eternal. Neheb has a pretty good body for an attacker, but can also give you tons and tons of mana ramp, which is really cool. I'm specifically not running the Aggravated Assault combo because I'm really interested in trying out a lot of the new cards, and I know that if I get Neheb online with Aggravated Assault or Sword of Feast and Famine, the game's just going to end. So that's not what we're trying to do today. We're trying to play with the new cards to get a feel for how they will perform. So winning is not necessarily our goal today. We just want to get experience with the new cards. So I'm interested to see how Neheb performs, by itself without running the combo. Although I still think it'll be very, very strong. Next we have Sunbird's Invocation. Someone was actually asking about this in the comments a few weeks ago, and this is a card that I've also been really interested in. Once I saw Patrick Chapin's build at the Pro Tour, I've been really interested in trying this card out, so that's what we're going to do today. I know this will be pretty good in a ramp-heavy build of Aurelia like my Angel Tribal deck, but I'm interested to see how it'll play in a less ramp-heavy, less top-heavy version of the deck. Next up, Scourge of the Throne. This card's actually been out for quite a while. I've just never included it for I'm not sure what reason, but I'm going to include it today and see how it plays for us. I think it should be pretty good. Again, additional combat steps, the dethrone mechanic, all seems like pretty good stuff. And then finally, at the top end, we have Gisela, Nullspine Dragon, and Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Classics in an Aurelia deck, so no surprises there. Also today, I'm running Iroas. Iroas is very good, but I find that I do cut it from a lot of my Aurelia decks, especially if I'm going heavy on equipments. But I brought Iroas back in just because I wanted to get reacquainted to see how it performs, especially in a deck that has a decent number of low-cast creatures, who will really benefit from the menace and prevent all damage while attacking abilities. So anyway, that's the deck. These are some of Aurelia's new toys. Let's go see how they play.